Yo, what's up? This is your boy Postman, and you're tuned in to Post in a Diary Room. Welcome to Post in a Diary Room. And as you may know, every day is a good day to get a delivery from the Postman. And of course, if this is your very first time tuning in, please kindly like, share, subscribe, comment, do whatever is necessary to engage with the content. And most importantly, today we're going to be reviewing Kwesta's latest project titled The Big Bro Theory. Now, this is a project that has a runtime of around 48 minutes. It has 12 songs in total. Features the likes of Nkosi Zanadota, Blackie, EQ, Makwa, Tabsi, Amanda Black, just to name a few. Now, this is a project that comes after quite a lengthy hiatus in as far as Kwesta is concerned, because the last time he came through with the project was, of course, in 2021, if I'm not mistaken, with the project God Guluva. And then he then came through with the Kwaito inspired project alongside Gabza the Small, which did really, really well, but not within the South African hip hop circle, because I know a lot of you guys are pessimistic in a sense. You don't really like when rappers are genre hopping, so to speak. The cover of the project was done by Junior Echo, who has worked with a lot of rappers. He's worked on the Nasty C, I Love It Here cover. He also worked on the DY3 cover by MT, and now he's also coming through with the cover for Kwesta. The cover obviously was shot at the Upside Down House. I suppose the title of the project, The Big Bro Theory, was of course inspired by the Big Bang Theory. For me, what I got throughout this project was that Kwesta is basically still aware of his presence in the game, and he acknowledges the kind of responsibility that he has now that he's older, he's an OG in the game, and he still reiterates the fact that he's still the main guy. And yeah, niggas are just gonna have to catch up. They have to do a lot of work to catch up, because on songs like Contra, he addresses a couple of those things where he's like, you thought your shit is cheesy, but I'm already greater, something like that. So Kwesta, in this sense, or during the course of this project, is basically in his OG bag, and basically telling the young niggas to more or less earn it, rather than feeling entitled to, you know, the limelight. But another thing that I actually got during the course of this project is that Kwesta, thematically or holistically, he's basically looking at his whole career from a bird's eye view, in a sense. So he's basically doing an overview of his time at the forefront in South African hip hop, and he's basically looking at his career from where he started to where he is to where he was, and those types of dynamics. So those are some of the things that he explores during the course of this album, which I thought was really interesting, and I thought it was quite creative, because we don't have a lot of people who have that ability to lyrically or contextualize whatever it is that they're trying to do, be it maybe a concept where they're trying to bring a message of, yeah, this is where I started, this is where I went, this is what I did. So there are a lot of nuggets and references of Kwesta's upbringing here and there, particularly on the song Enyaga Nyaga, which is an old movie that stars or features Mr. Ndabamhlongo. That is, of course, Babaka Somizi, and in the movie, rather, he acts as Umshefana. The movie comprises of actors like Umshefana, Ngungonyana, Usdula. Those are the three main characters in as far as that whole movie is concerned. And it's quite interesting to have someone like Kwesta then come through and share those types of references. And because I then caught up to the movie, I caught up with the movie in my young ages. But those are types of things that we all grew up around, and it's quite interesting to actually see that there's not much of a difference in as far as Ukula Wam and Ukula Quest. The intro is more or less a song, not really a song. It's not really a song. It's more or less an interlude that builds a form of anticipation into the whole record in itself. The project for me then begins with the throne, where you have the elements that are taken from the intro, then they put into the throne, where Kwesta is basically there. He's basically urging people to pray for each other primarily, but also he's basically calling for a sense of unity or a form of unity. It's more of a call to action in a sense if you look at the song holistically, and he's basically telling the people things like you can't kill the king, and addresses the ones who were saying he fell off. I thought that was a great way to then open the project, because you're addressing a lot of the things that are hanging over your head before you do what you intend to do in as far as your whole project is concerned. Dark tint that the throne actually has, the dark tint that you find throughout the whole song, these minimalistic, dark instruments and all of these added sounds at the back, they kind of make the song very dark, whereas now his vocals and his sharp voice, his bass, his voice actually stands out a lot more, and in a sense it sounds very threatening. But I must actually say that I was quite taken aback by the Blackie feature, especially when I saw the track list of the whole project. I thought that Kwesta and Blackie is I mean, they're both musicians in their own respective right, but I didn't see them actually making a song that is good. But the song in itself, being Ghost, I thought it was a really good song because the beat that was chosen actually complements Blackie stylistically, because when he then came on, it was then up to him to then decide where the song actually goes, and he did that very, very well. And Kwesta obviously did his own thing. There was not really a clash of synergies, in a sense where now Blackie needs to try be a lot more ghetto to match Kwesta's aesthetic, or Kwesta now needs to be more English to kind of match, It was like, okay, you do your own thing, I'm gonna do my own thing. And I think in turn it actually panned out really, really well, and the song is actually sounding very, very good. I mean, there were quite a few misses in as far as this whole project is concerned, because I think the song Shaya was a miss in my opinion. I do not get where the song is going. I do not have any resonance to the song or for the song, and I think the song in itself is very yuck. Yeah, this a better word. I think the song didn't move me at all. I think the song in Nyawazam also for me ruined the project slightly, particularly because it's at the midsection of the project, where it's at the center of it all, because you have 12 songs, and in the beginning there's a dark tint that we get, then in the midsection we're like, now okay, I guess it's a bit brighter. I understand that, but the bright sides of the project in themselves could have been done a lot more better. That song Nje Nyawazami is kind of long done, tried and tested. Obviously, besides the misses and the whatnots, the lows, the highs, and so forth, the biggest hit for me was, of course, the song Joy that features Nkosazana Daughter. That's a song that I really, really love, and it's a song that came after Idlala Vilakazi, because Idlala Vilakazi was then the lead single of this project, and then Joy then came just before the project actually dropped. And I like Joy so much. I thought Nkosazana Daughter was really, really great, and how the entries that Kwesta kept making during the course of this album were quite interesting and quite refreshing, because there was no gimmicks in as far as he didn't even sound uncertain in as far as whether do I approach the song in this way, do I approach it in that manner. He just went in. Hallelujah. It's a brand new day. That's a radio song. That's a song that I expect to do really, really well. It's a song that you can even listen to in the morning to actually thank God for the day. If you're trying to, get into a particular zone where you're trying to chase away bad energy and you're trying to invite some good energy, positivity towards your space, this is a good song for that. And then another song that I actually really, really fuck with, and as far as the whole project is concerned, is Contra. I thought Contra was a very, very lethal joint. You see that one? This is easily my favorite rap song of the year. There isn't a song that I've heard this year. We can even go back to 5 years. I haven't heard a song like that over the past 5 years. Or even, let's even make it about Posting a Diary. Ever since I started reviewing projects and shit, I've never heard a song like Contra, in my honest opinion. And Contra for me is simply a lyrical miracle. It's a lethal rap song. It's venomous. It's very crazy. And Kwesta and KDX and G on one song really, really made sense here. And I actually enjoyed Kwesta's verse just as much as I enjoyed KDX's verse. But I think the verse by Kwesta had a lot more energy, had a lot more, he was oozing. It had a lot of ooze, it had a particular vibe, it had a particular vibe, and it oozes a lot of aura, a lot of, it's really, really nice. Kwesta has always shared a particular kind of artistic chemistry with Tapsi, because they did collaborate on the song Yasfelangawa, which was a banger and still a very good song. And now they then come back for the song Say Me, which I felt was a good, decent song, because here you can actually tell that time has went and Tapsi sounds very seasoned. She sounds older, more mature. I'm not saying she wasn't mature at the time, but there's a difference in how her voice sounds here, and she does actually sound seasoned, and she's still a great singer in my opinion. I think the deepest cut on this project would have to be Out of Love. Out of Love is more of a love letter to SA hip hop, a letter to SA hip hop, addressing a couple of things that he felt as though needed to be addressed, for one, and also he passes the baton to Touchline, because we also saw Nasty C being given the baton by Super Mega in 2022. Was it 2023 if I'm not mistaken, where they did the song Lemons Lemonade, and then Mega actually told him, I want you to do things a certain way, or blah. And then yeah, because Nasty C has always been tipped to be that guy who can take us even further as a genre, and Kwesta obviously here is basically passing his torch to Touchline and saying, boys, in, we need what you're doing. What you're doing is just amazing, and your music has saved a lot of lives. You're a very important player in South African hip hop, and yeah, that's basically what Kwesta actually did on the song Out of Love. This is a really nice way to end the project. I like how the project ended. I think the project started off on a good note, but the mid parts, the mid section of the project kind of lost me. That's where he more or less kind of lost me. But this is a really good body of work. I'm satisfied with the efforts here, and I think this project gets a 6 out of 10. The Big Bro Theory by Kwesta gets a 6 out of 10. Post in the diary room, please kindly like, share, subscribe, comment, do whatever is necessary, and I'll see you in the next one.